What's up, everyone? Today is January 29th of 2025. My name is Derek. Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a little bit different, as for the first time on this channel, I'll be diving into the numerology of the world of Japanese sumo wrestling. Although it may initially seem counterintuitive that English Gematria would have any relevance for a sport exclusive to Japan, I will show you how, indeed, this code that's proven so prevalent in American and European sports is indeed at play all over the world, even where you might least expect it. To demonstrate this, we're going to look at how today's promotion of Mongolian sumo wrestler Hōshōryū to the rank of Yokozuna, the first man in nearly 4 years to receive the honors, and only the 74th in the entire history of the sport. This actually makes him the only active Yokozuna, a fact made by the retirement of Terunofuji, another Mongolian who failed to finish the same January 2025 tournament that propelled Hōshōryū to the highest degree of sumo. So we're going to talk about why this date, January 29th, is particularly significant to the Mongolians. And we'll look at a couple more numbers before the end of the video as well, including this number 48, which is connected to both sumo and Yokozuna. So to kick things off, let's start with the basic alphabetic order, probably the easiest cipher to understand in this practice. And today's promotion of Hōshōryū was approved on January 29th, the date written here in the United States as 129. In the alphabetic order, this wrestler's name, Hōshōryū, sums to 129. Hōshōryū is one of the 6 Mongolian Yokozuna, the first of which was his uncle, Shōryū. You'll see that beginning in 2003, the Mongols have a damn near monopoly on the Yokozuna rank. Beginning with Shōryū, only one Japanese wrestler has reached the highest degree since then. So it's been all about Mongolia. And again, Shōryū, the first Mongol, is Hōshōryū's uncle. And we're also going to talk about this guy, Terunofuji, who retired during the same tournament that Hōshōryū just won. Now, when Shōryū was promoted, all the way back in 2003, it was also on the date 129. And this number stands out when you measure between their birthdays, because Hōshōryū was born a span of 129 days before Shōryū's birthday. The highest level of Japanese sumo is called the makuchi, and using the reverse alphabetic order, a cipher which simply flips the alphabetic order backwards, so that Z is 1 and A is 26. Makuchi also equals 129. Now in 2021, when Terunofuji was promoted to Yokozuna, it was 1 month and 29 days after Hōshōryū's birthday. This brings us to what I consider to be the most significant method of Gematria, the Latin or Agrippa's key method, where the name Terunofuji equals 1290. Now, Terunofuji was promoted in July of 2021, with the recommendation happening on July 19th. July 19th was 1,290 days before today's date, 129. Now, in order to win this tournament, Hōshōryū had to defeat a wrestler named Kinbozan. Oh, excuse me. I've been battling an illness the last few days, and haven't really tried talking a whole lot since, so excuse my voice. But Hōshōryū was born 10 months and 29 days after Kinbozan's birthday. So just something worth mentioning. So the number 129 has Gematria of 257. And this actually has the same Gematria as 29th of January, which also equals 257 in reverse. So the date written 129 has the same Gematria as 29th of January. Now I point this out because in multiple methods, the nation of Mongolia sums to 257 using both standard Gematria and primes. Holy crap, do I sound like hell today, don't I? I promise you, most of my videos are a little bit smoother than this, but yeah, just something worth noting, this 257. And with capital letters, Hōshōryū also sums to 257. And this tournament was in the Makuchi, which equals 257. This cipher here with capital letters simply mixes in the small and large letters. So with Hōshōryū being promoted on the same date as his uncle Asashōryū, well, this is exactly 22 years, or 264 months. This wrestler's full name, Hōshōryū Tomokatsu, sums to 264 in the alphabetic order. Promoted 264 months exactly after his uncle. Now, with this being 22 years, 202 is the ordinal Gematria of the wrestler who just retired, Yokozuna Terunofuji Haruo. And his name equals 202. Terunofuji was promoted to the rank on the 202nd day of the year in 2021. 22 is also the reverse reduction Gematria of Sumo. Sumo also equals 68. And Asashōryū, who was the first of these Mongols to become Yokozuna, was the 68th in the sport's history. Most of these Mongolians are from Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. And notice how these both sum to 119. Well, Hōshōryū was born exactly 11 years and 9 weeks after Asashōryū. But next, I want to talk about the Gematria of the word Yokozuna. And we'll look at standard Gematria as well as the satanic method currently on your screen. So Terunofuji's retirement occurred right before this newest promotion. And notice how this wrestler was born in 1991. Well, 1991 is the standard gematria of the word Yokozuna. And this word also equals 408 in the Satanic method, whereas in Sumerian, or the alphabetic order times 6, Sumo equals 408. So both Yokozuna and Sumo sharing 408 values. Well, Hōshōryū was 4,080 days old when Terunofuji was born, and he would become Yokozuna 4,080 days later. So Terunofuji was born at the exact halfway point between Hōshōryū's birth and ascendance to Yokozuna. Terunofuji was promoted 4 months and 8 days before his birthday, and when he announced his retirement a couple weeks ago, it was 48 days after his birthday. 48, the reduction value of the newest Yokozuna, Hōshōryū. And Hōshōryū also has matching gematria with Makuchi. 48. Just like the 129 we saw earlier. The 48th prime number is 223. And Hōshōryū was born 223 months after his uncle Hōshōryū. And he was born on the date leaving 223 days in the year. Before I wrap this video up, I want to look at a couple of really interesting prime number connections between these two wrestlers. So just to recap, as I've been like blowing my nose between silences here, Terunofuji was the only active Yokozuna in the Makuchi. And now Hōshōryū will have that honor himself, the only Yokozuna. Well, notice how their full names relate through prime numbers. Terunofuji's name sums to 1489 in standard English gematria, and that's the 237th prime number. Hōshōryū Tomokatsu equals 2307, with, the 0 dropped, that's 237. And notice how the numbers 237 also appear when measuring between their birthdays. These two men were born 2,731 days apart. 2731 is the 399th prime number, and today, Hōshōryū's promotion is the first day of Terunofuji's 399th month. So I'm sure there's more to uncover here. I've never done a sumo decode on my blog or on this channel before. So I thought it would be pretty interesting just to kind of take a glance, despite my illness. And checking the chat here, and this is pretty funny, right? There's, of course, a sumo wrestler in Street Fighter named Edmund Honda, who is more commonly known as E Honda. Like, he's not really called Edmund Honda much in the game, it's just E Honda. And seeing as I'm talking about prime numbers at the end of this video, how interesting that E Honda equals 129 and 408. And, I spent the first half of this video talking about 129, and then I went into the big 408. And there they are in the prime number cipher, and we saw how big prime numbers were in the last section, so that's really interesting. Satanic Gematria, also a 257, huh? Yeah, I didn't think of this guy. I was also looking at the pro wrestler Yokozuna. I didn't really expect any connections with this guy. It's been a long time since he died. Oh. I guess it's worth taking a glance, but this isn't really a connection I expected, so. Yeah, I guess I'll just leave it there. Thanks to the chat for pointing that out there in the end. As far as my inspiration on this decode, well, you know, I saw the news that Hōshōryū was promoted, and I know enough about sumo to know that this is a very rare event, you know, with only 74 in the history of the sport, and this is a sport that goes back, you know, almost 300 years. Of course, you know, it's more common for wrestlers to reach this rank more recently, but, you know, and then I'm looking at this and I realized, what's going on with all these Mongolians? Because I texted my brother earlier this morning, because I just wanted to point out to him that Hōshōryū equals 129, the date of his promotion. And he said, oh, you know, that's funny because Terunofuji just retired, and he was the only active Yokozuna, and he's also Mongolian. So I was like, wow, there's got to be more here. And I was just blown away by how easily it all came together, even in English. All right, everyone. Thanks to everybody for toughing that decode out. I'm going to drink some more orange juice, pop some more vitamins, and come back a little stronger for the next video. I promise. All right, peace, love, God bless, and we'll talk to you next time. See ya.